Hello and welcome to our sort of video review of Serious Sam, Serious Sam 3. I am Ryan Winterhalter, Associate Games Editor, and with me is
Jay Karchi, One-Up Community Manager.
Community Manager, and you're new here, so
I am. First couple weeks.
Is this your first podcast video?
This
everything?
is my first video, yes.
All right, so people just getting to know you.
Very exciting.
All right, so what we're watching here is sort of the Serious Sam 3 single player. And you said you played the first Serious Sam?
I did play it. I rented it for a little while. I played it. Haven't been too impressed by the series, but also haven't given it enough of a chance. So
yeah,
nothing against it. Just don't know too much about it.
So what this is right now is this is single player. This is what the game looks like. There's a giant arena. There's lots of enemies, and you shoot them.
Okay, first glimpse is it looks pretty decent. It's reminiscent of Borderlands, which I really got into. I like the art style. It looks pretty decent so far.
Yeah. The game takes place all in ancient Egypt. The first part of the game takes place in like the streets of Cairo, and it's more drab and sterile than any street I've ever seen in my life. Like all these streets look like absolutely miserable. And I've been to the Middle East. I know what a Middle Eastern city looks like, and this is just
right. It's also a little refreshing though, not to be like realistic. You know, you're in Afghanistan. You know, breaching doors and stuff. It's nice to see a shooter that just is ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, it ends up being something more along the lines of you're blowing up ancient Egyptian ruins. I won't name any specifics, but there are very famous monuments that you get to destroy.
Right.
And so, but this is what it is, and this is actually.
Are you progressing through like a stage at all, or there's just a giant arena?
There's discrete levels, and so this is a big part of the state of one of the stages. Each stage takes probably about an hour to complete if you're playing single player.
And it just seems like right now you're just going in circles, though. Is that
well, actually, the thing that I compare it to in my review, I say that Serious Sam and Doom and all these games are more like Geometry Wars or Robotron than anything else. Because, I mean, it's not Geometry Wars and Robotron is a top-down view, but in Serious Sam, you're doing the same thing from a first-person's perspective.
Just in a 3D environment.
You're getting surrounded. You're carving out holes in enemies.
Okay.
And then you run through and you get a few seconds.
I could get into that.
Shoot. It's fun, but it's I know that when I was playing this particular level, this is about midway-ish through the game, I was getting kind of frustrated
with how much it was going
with how much was going, because there's enemies coming in. It's hard. This game is, I think it's impossible if you play it by yourself. Like
is there upgradable weapons and stuff, or how does that work?
No, it's straight up old school. You get your weapons.
You find new weapons and then just blow stuff up.
Yeah. The destructible environments are actually really cool. All this stuff is blowing up in real time, as you see there, which is really cool. That's the one thing that ever slowed down my system is when I would, throw a bunch of C4 into a monument, and it'd all blow up. So
all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, this is single player. This is not actually the important part of the game. This right here is the cool part of the game.
Now we're gonna. So I don't know. Haven't read anything about this. We're gonna look at
player
16-player
co-op. Well, first, just a quick look at here are the graphic settings. This is like you can custom. Are you a PC gamer?
A little bit. I wouldn't call myself a hardcore PC gamer.
Okay, this might be a bit much. This is where you can customize everything. Like
yeah, my
every
PC usually
single
isn't good enough.
detail.
I usually just take lowest settings and good enough to play. But this looks interesting.
Yeah, like I mean, the number of bodies, the number, how much debris there is, it's insane.
Wow.
It's a little bit much even for me, and I am a PC gamer. Like, I just want to know what's going to make it run smooth.
Yeah.
And so this helps a little bit. It's like this is hard on your processor. It has split screen, which is crazy.
And this is on PC, so
on a
split
PC
screen
game,
PC?
yeah.
How does that work? You have controllers?
I have no idea. I didn't plug in a 360 pad during my time there. So here I am looking for a game to play.
Okay, and so you're looking to play a co-op mission with 16 people.
Yeah.
In it.
I'm not sure if I managed to join one.
But some of them have max of 8. Some like smaller maps. I see.
Yeah. So it takes a while. The server browser kind of sucks, to be honest. But this is on a Sunday afternoon, and look how empty these servers are, which is a shame because the game is actually.
It's out now.
It's out now. Yeah. It's really fun to play. It's even better to play with people, but
maybe it'll pick up. There's just a lot going on right now.
Yeah. So connecting the hosts, see if this goes.
How is your network issues? Do you have any?
At 16 players, it gets bad. Like I played other matches, maybe 5 to 10 people, and it was pretty well. At 16 players, there's a little bit of lag.
Yeah.
But you're. At that, it's not even. It's more about just observing the sheer chaos of it.
And you gave this game an
A-.
A-, which is a pretty solid score. So far I've heard you know, some negative things about it, what are the really positive things?
Well,
that
see,
stand out
that's
for
the thing is when you know, playing through the single player, I was really down on this. I was thinking I was going to give it like a C, maybe even a D. I was like,
Ouch.
this is, I mean, it's pretty, it controls well, but there's not a whole lot.
Which in the back of my mind is what I think of when I think of Serious Sam. It's just like, kind of a not even great game. Nobody cares about it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then I was like, I was about ready. I was like, well, I'm doing the review. I really should check out multiplayer.
Okay.
And
do
I
you
did,
have,
and
do you
I
have
was.
a decent system? Like, are we seeing? Like
Yeah, this is on a GTX 580, which
Okay.
is NVIDIA's top card right now. I've got 4 gigs of RAM and a fairly decent AMD 6-core processor. Certainly not the best. Yeah, and so this is what Serious Sam looks like with 16.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's dark. This is one of the inside levels. I think you're inside. You might be inside the Sphinx. Maybe you're inside. I don't know how you go inside the Sphinx.
GoldenEye's Aztec level? Is that what that one was?
I don't
That's what it looks like.
It does. Let me see if I can't skip forward here to some of the prettier scenes.
But still, so you're in a game with 15 other people?
Yeah.
Or about that? And you guys are just trying to survive?
Yeah, just trying to survive, trying to get to the end of the level. There are key cards. That was another thing that while I was down on it in single players because when you're playing with key card, I mean, there are literally points where it says, "Here's a key card." You know, here's a locked door, find the key card, and then you find a key card and you run it there, and it's like, sorry, you need another key card. They don't even color code it. But when you're playing with 16 players, someone else is going to do that. You don't have to worry about that. So I didn't have to worry about key cards or anything like that.
That guy looked like Woody from Toy Story.
I just had to worry about blowing crap up.
Okay.
And doing that.
How is the ammo situation? Do you have to find new ammo all the
Single
time?
player, it's super, super tough.
Yeah.
Single player, I wanted to use this assault rifle a lot because it was really effective, but there was never enough ammo, and I ended up dying a lot because I had to use shotguns, and I ended up getting too close to enemies that you'd rather stay far away from.
Right.
Multiplayer doesn't matter. There's more than enough ammo to go around.
I'm going to put you on the spot. From what I've heard so far, from what I see, like it looks like it'd be entertaining for a weekend or a day maybe, but I'm not seeing where the A- comes in. All
right, so
I'd like you to defend your stance
Yeah,
on this
so
game.
I open up the review and I talk about a couple of weeks ago. A couple of months ago, actually, I went to interview John Romero, who was co-creator of Doom, Quake.
Right.
Legendary for the marketing campaign. John Romero will make you his bitch. And I got to him talking about shooter design, and I asked him, "What do you think? What do you play nowadays?" And he says, "Well, sometimes I play Quake, sometimes I play Doom." He's really into Ghost Recon, but there was none of like the big, like old school Ghost Recon, but there were none of the big modern shooters.
No Call of Duty or Battlefield.
No Call of Duty, no Battlefield, no Borderlands, anything like that. And so I asked him, "What's up? I mean, you created the shooter, the modern shooter. Shouldn't you be into it?" And he says that the paradigm has changed so much that these games are all about funneling you down an alley. You turn so slowly. It's not really you don't even really think about your position relative to enemies.
Yeah.
That it's a much simpler kind of game. And he says he doesn't even like that. And then after he said that, I went back and I started to play Doom, and I started to see it in a new light in a way that I hadn't started to, and that's where I sort of had the idea of, well, this is Robotron, this is Geometry Wars, and so when I went into the single player, I said, well, yeah, but this is no more advanced than Serious Sam 1. I like the fact that they bring back this paradigm, this shooter paradigm. That I like.
That it's more fast-paced.
But I need something more for me to give it a good score, and for me, this multiplayer was it. I mean, this is an example of 16 players is probably not the ideal way. It's certainly the craziest and entertaining for a little bit.
Now, what's the incentive to keep on playing more? Like, is there character progression? Is there hats to unlock?
There's points. Again, it goes back to that Geometry War sort of paradigm. There's points in time. So do you beat your time? Do you beat your point total? Okay.
Is that all they have going for the incentive-wise?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's still relatively relatively minimal, and it's certainly not for everyone. I can definitely see someone who grew up on Call of Duty. I can't imagine them. I imagine them, if they saw this, wouldn't know what to make of it.
Well, it's different. It's a full retail release?
Full retail release, $40, which also helps. Doesn't hurt the score because it's not a $60 investment. It's $40.
So Would you pick this up? I mean, if you weren't playing 30,000 other games today, would you pick this up?
Probably not this Christmas season, to be honest. This Christmas season, I'm knee-deep in Skyrim, and until I discovered the multiplayer, I was just trying to get through this game just so I could go back to Skyrim.
Right.
Once I found the multiplayer, I sat back for a few hours and had an absolute blast.
It looks like it can be fun. Like I said, for me, first glance opinion, it looks like it can be fun for a weekend, but you know, I probably wouldn't spend that much more time with it. I really get into the character progression. I like that incentive to keep you coming.
Yeah, it does.
And I can't tell how great it looks because, like, PC games, you know, I don't know what your system is exactly. You told me, but I don't remember. But you know, I don't know exactly how it holds up on like its best settings or anything, or on the best network connection.
Yeah.
So that's tough to see.
I have a pretty high-end rig, and so this is running not at absolute max settings, but it's doing pretty okay for itself.
Right.
And so if you have a weaker PC, I know it's scalable, but we don't have access to like a wide range of rigs. I wasn't able to like take this down and know if you're running on a 5-year-old system, are you going to be able to play this? Like you can, I mean, PC games are such nowadays that it doesn't matter if your computer's 5 years old, since they're all designed to run on a 360 and then ported. Yeah. Everything runs smooth on everything.
Your score, your review comes with the caveat that, you know, if you're just picking it up for yourself or single player, maybe not worth it. Try something else. Yeah. But if you're online a lot, if you want something a little different, then worth checking out.
And that caveat was very important. I went back and forth talking about it, and I talked to Jeremy a bit about it because I said, you know, I'm not sure. I know this game, in theory, offers a great experience. That in theory anybody can hop in and join a 16-player match or an 8-player match and have a blast. However, the player population is so low. Maybe you know, if someone buys this game based off my review, they won't have that experience. And after talking to Jeremy, we came to the conclusion that it's sort of a chicken and an egg problem. You know, our position right here is even if a game isn't going to be necessarily set the shelves on fire, we're in a position where we can.
Oh man, you just grab that thing and
Yeah, the melee attacks are awesome. Like there's another melee attack. End up with a skull.
That's pretty cool. Can't really tell what's going on, but it looks pretty cool.
There's a third-person mode that these animations look really cool in. It's just not the best to play. In third-person mode. But yeah, that is Serious Sam 3 BFE, which is I didn't know what it stood for. I had to actually. Before first encounter, Scooter comes in and chime. I had to really look into.
I don't know what BFE means.
Before first encounter.
Oh, that's what it means. Before first encounter.
First encounter being the first Serious Sam game.
All right. So it's a prequel.
So it is technically a prequel. That's why you're in Egypt and not some alien world.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Serious Sam 3. You got. I think everybody there, if you're into this kind of old school shooter, should definitely check it out.
All right. Cool.